I think there's a great opportunity for startups in many ways. First of all, the opportunity for startups in terms of addressing this market, coming up with solutions that will also, as more and more startups get out there and start requiring AI infrastructure to run on, of course, that's another demand generation. And I think also startups themselves are going to change how they operate, because one of the big things that's taking place in the software industry is AI writing software. So developers will be able to become way more productive, and I use that as kind of a proxy for what will happen in other industries like financial management, because I started life as a programmer myself, as a developer, and the tools that are available to developers right now are incredible. Companies like Cursor, that they just raised another round at a massive $10 billion valuation. The software industry is completely being transformed by AI, and it's giving developers an opportunity to be way more productive, at least 10x, if not more.
Very interesting. While you may not have exposure to the public markets, you would be looking at building those businesses that you're investing in at stage one, and building them to a scale where they can go to the public market. So I want to understand from you, Michael, at this stage, what is the priority? What is the strategy that is most important? What's the advice that you give to the companies that you invest in terms of, the return on investment question? That, fine, you're building something exceptional, you're building something that's disruptive, but make sure that on the long-term pathway, you are profitable as well, and that you get enough bang for the buck.
Well, the thing that's interesting about this cycle, so if I go back, I've been in technology for a long time, so if you look at sort of major evolutions and major eras of computing, when I began, it was the PC era, and then became internet, and then mobile, cloud evolved. This one is different in the sense that the technology which AI provides, generative AI, deep learning, is now becoming very easily available. Just like cloud provided compute in the mobile and SaaS era, we're seeing intelligence, an abundance of intelligence that's available to startups. So they have to rethink their way they go about building a business. So first of all, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more startups that are very focused on specific industries, because some of the development costs that they would have to undertake are actually subsumed by the AI models. It's kind of like databases in the past. So they have to rethink it. The other thing that's changed tremendously is when we went from PCs to SaaS, the business model went from selling, in the early days, you bought a box of software and you installed it on your PC, and then in SaaS you went to subscriptions, because the marginal costs of adding users in SaaS were very, very low, because you've already invested in the infrastructure in the cloud to have the app running in the cloud. However, with AI, everybody's going to have to rethink it, because we're going into a variable cost. The cost, in particular, as you go to agents and deep research and these reasoning models, they require a lot of inference cost. So I don't have really an answer for it. I think one of the big questions is, how are the business models going to evolve? And I think most people are very obsessed with the technology, but the business model will shift, which will create opportunities. And we're still very early in to the cycle, so it'll be very interesting to see how this develops.